Day 5 on the Edinburgh Odyssey. Hello everybody, it's Ian and Jane show again.
Hi.
This is show 3 of day 5, and this is this took place in a football stadium.
Yes.
Now, and I have mentioned before in another video that we saw a thing last year called Sweet FA, and this is the same production company in the same venue. They are showing both of these plays this year, but we went to see A War of Two Halves, which is the true story of the Tynecastle, the Heart of Midlothian football team, who went off to the First World War together, and they joined a battalion together. And I'll read a little bit of synopsis, and then we can tell you a little bit about what we. So the year is 1914. Edinburgh's Heart of Midlothian Football Club have won 19 of 21 matches and stand on the brink of becoming the Scottish League champions. In a remarkable show of comradeship and courage, 13 of their players volunteered to serve together with McCrae's?
Oh, sorry, I've put my glasses down.
I think it's McCrae's Battalion.
Yeah, I think it was McCrae. It was definitely
McCrae.
Oh, McCrae.
McCrae, sorry, apologies. McCrae's Battalion, destined to fight in France. This is their story and of their dramatic journey through Tynecastle Park, led by player-struck soldiers in a unique site-specific performance. Now, so that was the beauty of it, and I had read that before, but then we started off in the bar, and I said to you, I said, I hope it's not just all going to be in the bar. It wasn't. You go right the way around the football stadium. In fact, I've taken some pictures which I will include, and we even got to have one particular scene in the dressing room, which it was
not many people get to go.
Not many fans of Heart of Midlothian football team get to go in the dressing room, and there we were sat watching this fantastic play. It was a sold out show in 2018 and 2019, which obviously we didn't see it then.
No, we saw the companion piece, which is Sweet FA. So.
I just loved it. I thought it was heartbreaking. I loved the fact that we sort of moved around. That was quite nice. Then we sat a bit, but I thought the whole cast were absolutely superb. There was a violinist who played, and we had songs, and we had the history of their football, that season's football match. And I won't tell you the end, what happened at the end of the football of that particular season. And then obviously these lads went off to war, really. And I have to say, I was in tears.
Yeah.
It was, and I wasn't the only one.
No, there was quite
a few of us, really. There was just. It was very, very moving.
But yeah, I mean, in several places they played the commentary.
Yeah.
So you got, you sat there listening to commentary, and you really felt you were at the match.
Looking over at the football.
Because at one point we were sitting alongside the pitch.
Pitch side,
we were like. We've already mentioned we were in the dressing room. Where else did we go? We were standing. We stood in a couple of places and watched the action. But it was, what I loved about it was, obviously it wasn't 13 people. It was about.
No, it wasn't. There was a cast of about 8.
But they were all obviously real people, so we knew who they were. And you saw them as a team. You saw the reasons behind them enlisting. You saw them then become soldiers. You understood the impact that had on them prior to them going overseas. And then you saw them in the trenches. I wouldn't say too much about that.
There was a lovely little bit actually when they were still obviously playing before they'd all enlisted, and we were walking through to the next bit, which was going to be pitch side, and they were just stood on this. They were just playing football, weren't they? And it wasn't on the pitch, but they were on this park bit. This sort of.
That was before
we actually got to
know them.
Got to know them.
And they were in
1914 kit, which was just lovely. So we ended up sort of walking through them, and the manager was stood there, and we sort of giving them direction. And we're just little touches like that were just absolutely lovely.
But all the places that we were taken were really important.
Yeah, they were.
And it was. You felt you got to know them as a group, as a team, and you saw them, the banter between them and everything. So what happened, at the end when they're in the trenches, that was because, we talked about this in some of the other videos today about whether you care about people.
Yeah.
You really care about these guys.
Yeah.
And the whole story is so poignant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real. And so many people were in tears.
And it's worth mentioning that to get out to Tyne from the centre of Edinburgh, it's a 20-25 minute bus ride out to Tynecastle Park. But it is so worth it. And what we sometimes hear is that when there are theatre pieces or things going on out that are away from the main hub of Edinburgh, that they get smaller crowds really. I can't encourage you enough if you come in to actually make the effort. And not only this, but also Sweet FA, the other one as well, about the female football, which is very poignant at the moment, with having the England
very relevant,
having just won. So I would certainly encourage. It's worth the journey, and it's also worth mentioning. And I only found this out yesterday. There is a little bus app which you can download for free. And you tell the bus app where you want to go. It's not the best app in the world, but actually it got us there. It told us which bus to get on, how far we'd have to walk to the actual bus stop, and then on the way back, and it worked fine. It got us there. Mm-hmm. So there are things, if you don't know, if you come into Edinburgh and you've never been on an Edinburgh bus before, the Lothian bus app will help you get wherever you want to be, not only for this show, but for other shows as well.
I mean, last year we walked there and got the bus back.
Yeah.
So, and that's very doable.
Yeah.
But
a bit longer, obviously, but and if it's a nice day.
Yeah. But I mean, it works on so many levels. If you're a supporter of the club, then
God, you've got to go.
There were lots of support. Yeah. Well, it wasn't a huge audience, but it was decent. It was a decent audience. But there were quite a lot of supporters there. So on that level, I mean, obviously, we weren't specific supporters of the club, but we loved what they Sweet FA from last year, and we were really interested in going to see another production by them. And we like site-specific sort of productions.
Yeah.
And it works on a theatrical level as well.
Yeah.
And it's well worth going.
On our way, I mean, I took a photograph of this, which I will include probably now. On our way into the dressing room, there is along the wall there is this massive metal sign, which is in red and sort of steel, and it said "Blood does not show" on a maroon jersey, which I just thought was absolutely incredible. Really, I'll include the photo because that is quite amazing, really.
Yeah.
How many stars?
I'm going to go for 5.
Yeah, me too. It's definite.
It's really special.
It's very special. Yes, you have to make the effort to go out there, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
And it really is. It's a
lot of time has gone into telling this story.
Yeah, and it's an important story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And yeah.
And the other thing is, you can take your drink round with you.
Oh yes. Well, actually, I would not have had a big pint glass. It was non-alcoholic, I hasten to add, But I then did have to carry that around.
Yeah. They did say, please don't leave your glasses on the terraces because they get sold off. So, but there are bins around, and once you finish your drink, you can pop it. So, it has to be a plastic cup, as usual. These sort of things.
Don't buy a pint before you go. Just remember, you've got to carry it around.
Carry it around. But honestly, it is. I mean, we can't recommend it highly enough. Really, it is definitely a must-see show. All right, let me tell you when it's on and how much it costs. So it is on. Right, so on the right way through the Fringe to the 29th, there are 3 dates when it's not on: 14th, 24th, and 25th. Now the 8th, which is a 2-for-1 day, it's sold out tomorrow. It's sold out here. You may be able to contact there'll be a link if you go on the Fringe website. There may be some tickets available actually at the venue at Tynecastle Park, because that happens with other venues. So but on here it shows that it's sold out. There are still tickets available 2-for-1 on the 9th.
And what's that other yellow?
There's another one which looks like they're going for another. I don't know whether that is that a 2-for-1? Doesn't say it, does it? Well, there's a yellow. I mean, the yellow is normally a 2-for-1. Oh, I've just lost it.
For some reason, the 18th.
The 18th is yellow.
Showing as a
so
yellow.
That may be another 2-for-1 day, but it's difficult to.
But it doesn't say specifically.
It's on at different times on different days as well. Let me tell you the standard price. So if I just pick 313, so the standard price is £22. So it's not a cheap show, but I actually think, and the concession is 19. If you're taking a child, it's £5 for the kid, which I think is really good actually. I think it's not an hour. It's an hour and
it's an hour and a half.
Well, it's an hour and a half really, but actually they did say to us that don't if you've got mobility issues, don't rush. They'll start when everybody's there, which I thought was really really nice.
So there are some steps.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it will be.
There must be. They'll
be able to manage. Yeah.
We didn't have anybody in our group who had in a wheelchair, but there must be ways around that.
Yeah.
So it's an hour and a half ish. It may be slightly longer, purely and simply because if you've got a few people that need are slower or that sort of thing. But it starts when everybody's there. Really, and they encouraged us to take pictures. They said the time to take pictures was when the voiceover was going on or the music, the violin was playing. Not obviously when they're actually doing dialogue. Yeah. And I didn't take any pictures when they were doing dialogue. So I would include all of that. Yeah. She probably, So absolutely brilliant. Go see it. 5 stars for both of us. Yeah. Wonderful. We've got one more show today, which is 9 o'clock tonight, and we'll see you then.
Okay,
cheers. Bye bye.